2. But I start with the main event fighter in tomorrow night's English heavyweight and British title eliminator at Brentwood Centre. They fought last year, this guy, Tyson Fury is his name. He fought John McDermott last year. It was tight. It was a fantastic fight, and too many people forget how good a fight it was. They just look at the result, which was extremely controversial. Yes, it was. Anyway, I'm delighted to say that Tyson joins me on the line now. Good evening, Tyson.
Good evening, Big Daddy.
How are you, my friend?
Good.
Now listen, Tyson, you've only had 10 fights, but is it fair to say this is going to be the biggest fight, not just of your pro career, but your amateur career? Because you've got an awful lot to prove tomorrow night, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a lot to prove. If I don't prove it, then I'm going to hang my gloves up.
And change professions?
Change professions. I'm going to be a male model dancer.
Well, I've always said you look a little bit like, what's his face, Errol Flynn, so I wouldn't be surprised if you can dance as well as you look. That's a possibility. Now, the last time...
Fred Astaire.
And Fred, well, listen, you got it made, son. You might be wasting your time boxing anyway. Now, listen, the last time you fought John, it was a fantastic 10-round fight, something that most people overlook, and you divided people both at ringside and on TV and since with the decision. But before we talk about what you thought about the fight, think back to that fight. Were you surprised at how determined John McDermott was and how he was just there round after round after round?
No, not really. I knew he was going to do that. To be honest with you, Steve, it wasn't for what John McDermott done that was so fantastic. It was that I performed rubbish.
Okay. So
I didn't put a good performance in. It wasn't that he was so super good on the night. He does the same thing every time if you watch him.
Yep.
Done the same thing with Danny Williams. Every fight he's had, he does the same thing. But I didn't do what I could do good, and I fought rubbish. I didn't hit him with a worthwhile punch, and that was about it, really. It was just a rubbish performance from me, so I'm aiming to put it right on Friday.
Now, at the end of the night, if the referee on that evening had raised John McDermott's hand, tell me the truth, Tyson, you're a really honest kid, and I know that.
Yeah.
What would have gone through your head? Would you have been surprised? Would you have just said, you know what, it was tight, let it, he nicked it on the night? What did you think if your hand hadn't been raised?
To be honest with you, I wouldn't have been bothered because I'm not the type of person to kick up a big fuss about decisions. Good. And that would have been it, really. I wouldn't have argued with the decision, but it didn't happen. So. That's what counts.
Right, it is what counts. Good point.
The thing that I would like to ask, though, would he have given me a rematch?
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't think he would have done.
So if he'd have won a really tight... Because it would have still been tight the other way round. I mean, so if he'd have got the decision... listen, I had him on last week. I should have asked him that question. That's a good question because that's an absolutely valid question. So let's assume, Tyson, that you get through the job tomorrow. It's 12 rounds tomorrow, not 10. What's out there in the rest of Britain that you fancy?
Well... I fancy a bit of Derek Chisora.
Yep, big deal.
Sexton. I fancy a bit of the British and Commonwealth title.
Yep, makes sense.
And that's about it, really.
Yeah, I mean, but those are all possible fights in the next six to 12 months, aren't they, in theory?
If I beat John McDermott tomorrow,
yep,
and Derek Chisora has to fight me within 6 months of tomorrow.
Well, let's hope he will. Listen, Tyson, good luck tomorrow down there, and I wish the same thing to John last year. I tend to, well, I don't tend to agree with you. I do agree with you. If you fight to the best of your abilities, then I think you win. But if you hold anything back, then he's fired up enough to win on points. He really is. So you're going to have to perform tomorrow night, Tyson. Yep,
I'll perform.
All right, kid.
Everything's on me, so I'm going to do my best.
Tyson Fury, thanks very much. Good luck tomorrow. We'll speak to you soon. Win or lose, don't worry about that. Tyson Fury there.